hot out today. What's going on, guys? It's Justin here, and today I wanted to talk about give some updates on some things that I've experienced over the last 48 to 72 hours, and kind of catch you guys all up on it. So let's get into it. So on Friday morning, I went and had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and I am to report that I experienced very, very, very awful side effects from that vaccine. I do want to preface this by saying I hope this does not deter you from getting it. It's, you know, even if I had an idea of what expectations were going into it, and I somewhat did, I'd still get it. It's just based on you know, my current situation, needs and necessities, and you know, it's a good idea for me overall. So with that out of the way, and this is turning here. Sorry about the shitty placement, but best I can get it. So my side effects were, again, I got it in the morning on Friday. So literally about 10 or 12 hours later, I started to experience a very awful high fever, and along with the fever comes very bad chills, and that was the extent of it for a few hours until maybe about bedtime. And then my breathing started to become very, very labored, in that anytime I would lay down on my back, I'm a back and side sleeper, I would have a very hard time breathing, and if I would doze off, I would stop breathing altogether. And I do not have sleep apnea. I've never had any trouble breathing whatsoever, but this just became like a forced breathing that I had to consciously think about breathing, otherwise I would stop breathing. That was quite scary. And I was constantly battling the chills to sweats, chills again, sweats, and I didn't sleep at all Friday night, which was terrible. And the next morning, when I decided to get rocking and rolling, the dizziness on set was just awful. If I sit around, I would get dizzy sitting on the couch. I'd have to lay down. And anytime that I would start to feel better and I'd get up and move around a little bit, thinking maybe I passed this ordeal, again, I would get dizzy and have to lay back down. My breathing did start to get a little bit better throughout the day on Saturday, which was yesterday. And at this particular point, I still had no appetite. And that was one of the things, too, that I had no appetite. So I went maybe about 24 hours between eating. The last meal on Friday was about 6 o'clock. Instead of, usually I'll have another meal about 8 o'clock, you know, and shut it down. But this 6 o'clock I ate, and right around about 7 or 8 o'clock, I started to feel those symptoms. So then 24 hours later, I started to have enough energy and hunger, for that matter, to eat something, which was very light. And then again, after I ate something, I got really, really sweaty and tired, no energy whatsoever. You know, my fever had broke about that point too, so I started to come out of it around about that time, after that meal. So stepping on the scale today, I was 218 pounds, so I lost 4 pounds. So I've been consistently about 222, 223-ish, given about the day. And that's when I kind of segue into my diet, and I'll go back to the side effects of the vaccine in a minute. But overall, I have lost a little over 15 pounds now. I'm sure I'll go back up to 220, 222 after I start to get a little bit more routine to eating. But you know, overall, it's about 15 pounds down. I started dieting back in January, just around the turn of the year. Right, it was just a choice that I made to lose weight. I just wanted to lose weight. I just felt bloated a lot. I just felt uncomfortable a lot, and I just didn't like being between about 237 to 240. Let's call it what it is. I felt fat. I felt overweight, just tired. So now it's been consistent. I have not left the diet for a duration more than about a week, right? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I just completely went off of it just to kind of reset and get away from it. But now I'm back into it full swing the last couple of weeks. Still maintaining about 220, 221, 222. But at any rate, I feel good. I don't have that bloat anymore. I feel that I have more energy and I sleep better as well. And things overall feel good. My clothes fit better. So today was max effort bench. So I woke up today. Well, I went to bed yesterday knowing I was going to get up today and go bench. The reason being is I needed to assess the game plan. What was my outlook going to be for the week? How is this road to coming out of this situation going to be? And I needed to go in, whether I wanted to or not. Even I still feel run down, tired, dizzy, all of those things, albeit minor as compared to what I experienced Friday and Saturday, but still there. I needed to go in. I needed to push myself. I needed to find out exactly how this whole thing was going to play out. Because I think that if I had taken today and Monday or Tuesday and went back in the next couple of days, I wouldn't have gotten the benefit of what I did today. Basically, I went in and I benched as I normally would have. I took the same jumps. I did the same warm-ups. I changed nothing for the max effort bench. I wanted to see how it felt. So like 135, I did 5 reps and I was getting winded. I was getting tired. I was starting to feel lightheaded on the bench. I'd sit up, get lightheaded. So again, I went to 185, and 185 felt heavy. And just for reference, my max right now currently is maybe 365 to 375, right, on a good day. 185 felt heavy. I went to 225, and that's where I really started to feel dizzy on the bench. But I kept pressing on. I needed to get through it. I needed to push beyond that. 275 felt like a nightmare. It went fine. It looks fine in the video, and I'll put it up after this. And then against everything in my head, I went to 315, and I had to lift off in a spot on that because I figured I was I might have blacked out because I was really getting lightheaded and dizzy. As I am talking to you guys right now, I'm getting lightheaded and dizzy. Pretty shitty, but it went okay. And then for my accessories, I just cut everything in half, weight-wise, and did very high volume, just to get blood flow, just to get movement. But I still pushed beyond the normal threshold. When it got hard, I kept going. So I was doing sets of 20 to 25 because again, I needed to sweat. I needed to know how it felt to push. So now I can assess better when I go into max lower on Tuesday. So I'm not completely out of it. All right. So that's what it was. So again, this was my own experience with this whole ordeal. And again, Friday before the shot, anytime before the shot, I felt fantastic. I felt great. Training has been going okay. No question there. So this was ultimately all related to getting the vaccine. And again, I hope it doesn't deter any of you guys from getting it. I think it's a smart choice for everything. So there you have it. That's my experience, and I'll leave you guys with my bench today, which again was max effort upper, 275 and 315 top sets. Thanks.